That's what I wanted to know. After all that went on with the second husband and the second marriage, I was hoping they would still be married. That didn't start something. So I'm glad that brought them probably closer together, Courtney, than maybe tearing them apart.
Oh man,
that daughter had a lot of explaining to do. That wasn't her fault, obviously.
Cool wedding venue, by the way.
What stadium? Yeah. Yes. You get married at Major League Ballpark in the middle of summer because sometimes in St. Louis, middle of summer can be hotter than bad breath. So I'm sure she picked the perfect day to get married with her beloved Gas House gang when it comes to the Cardinals. Tournament updates, brackets, and also questions and answers involving me, Freddie Coleman, and Courtney Cronin. That's next on Freddie and Harry.
When you tell someone what team you cheer for, do they apologize? Does your first childhood memory involve crying on a Jumbotron? Then you may be a fan of a BST or bad sports team. Luckily, when you bundle your home and auto insurance with Progressive, you're protected from things like fire damage caused by violently unplugging the TV. Or an accidental overhand left to the drywall. Visit Progressive.com today. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Covered subject to policy terms. Not available in all states or situations.
It's Rich Eisen for Pella Windows and Doors. Sometimes teams take a timeout to regroup and call the right play. When it comes to your home, Pella Windows and Doors always has the winning game plan. They do it every day, and that's why your neighbors trust them. Visit Pella.com/Eisen today. Right now, Pella Windows and Doors of Evansville is offering $245 off per qualifying window and $545 off per qualifying door. Plus, ask about special financing. Some restrictions may apply. See store for details. Offer ends March 31st, 2026.
News now on 102.7 The Game.
Reporting for Cromwell Media News, I'm Rob Nichols. A major four-vehicle collision Thursday night brought emergency crews to the intersection of Highway 54 and Carnes Grove Road near Whitesville. According to investigators, a Mitsubishi Mirage waiting to turn was rear-ended by a gray Honda Odyssey, forcing the Mirage into the westbound traffic, where it was struck by a white Odyssey before Chevrolet Silverado collided with its side. Crews executed a mechanical extrication to free the Mirage's driver, who was airlifted to Deaconess Midway with serious injuries. The road was closed for about 90 minutes as officials worked the scene. The number of first-time filings for unemployment are increasing across Kentucky. That's according to the U.S. Department of Labor, which says for the week ending March 14, there are more than 5,000 first-time filings, which is several thousand more than the week prior. Nationally, the number of initial filings decreased compared to the week prior. Governor Andy Beshear is criticizing the proposed executive branch budget passed by the Kentucky Senate this week. The governor says the spending plan will cut over $2.5 billion in Medicaid funding over the next 2 years and reduce funding for social services. Could lead to pay cuts for health workers and social worker job losses if ultimately approved, according to Beshear. The Kentucky House will be working with the state Senate to finalize a version of the budget to send to the governor's desk prior to the close of the current legislative session. I'm Rob Nichols reporting.
Liven up your yard with help from Menards. Achieve a beautiful, lush green lawn with American Seed. Choose from sun and shade, hardy, high traffic, and shady lawn mixes. The grass seed features an enhanced technology that retains moisture and helps germination. Save big on American Seed coated grass seed. Plus, check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for all the great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
When the uniform comes off, the service doesn't end. I'm Brian Basham. Join me every Saturday morning on K-News 101.3 for The Other Side of Service. Real conversations about life after the uniform. Hear from veterans and veteran service organizations like AMVET, the VFW, the American Legion, the Owensboro-Davis County Veterans Organization, and Veterans Empowered Together. The Other Side of Service, Saturdays 7 to 10 a.m. on K-News 101.3.
And now, Western Kentucky weather on 102.7 The Game.
Few clouds with temperatures dropping down into the lower 50s. And then looking ahead to Saturday, some clouds into the morning before skies open up in the afternoon. Highs will top out in the upper 70s to lower 80s before cooling down into the upper 50s Saturday night. Sunday, highs will be potentially record-breaking in the mid-80s, all before a cold front moves in. Sunday evening, that'll increase our cloud cover and even bring in the chance for a couple of thunderstorms. Lows will drop down into the lower 40s. I'm meteorologist Michael Fecker with your 14 First Alert forecast.
From the Floor Concept Studios, ESPN Radio, all sports, all the time. Kentuckiana sports leader, 102.7 WLME, Lewisburg, 102.7 Game.
Got here today, isn't it?
Yes, sir, Clarence.
Roger. What's our vector, Victor? Hello, sports fans, and welcome to
Live at 5.
It's Live at 5, and it's brought to you by Foreman Watson Holtree, FWHlegal.com. And now, your host for Live at 5, Stephen A. Turner.
What's up and welcome to Live at 5, brought to you by Foreman Watson Holtree, your one call for injury law. That's FWHlegal.com, the live stream out there brought to you by more and more Browns Valley truck equipment. Vic Evans in the captain's chair, sitting in for, once again, the quote-unquote sick Stephen A. Turner as he comes up sick on the Thursday and Friday of NCAA March Madness. Got David Clark with me.
I just got one question for you, Vic. Tell me who's in the house tonight, UK. Let's go, baby.
We'll get to that. And Dave, make sure you're following 1027 The Game, social media, X, Facebook, Instagram. If you miss the show, you can always pick up the podcast on Spotify, Apple Tunes, and or iHeart, or wherever you consume your podcast. It's all out there. And then you've got, if you want to hit us up, it's Green River Area Federal Credit Union text line, 270-903-0389. But we're not going to waste any more time because we're going to jump on the Green River Area Federal Credit Union hotline and get the voice of the Cougars up there at Rupp Arena, Mr. Sam Gormley, as the Cougars punch their ticket to the state semifinals tomorrow morning. Are you with us, Sam?
I am here. Do you got me?
We got you. Thanks so much for. I know you're up there living it up. Maybe too bad you weren't at KS Bar when UK Oway hit the shot. We'll get to that a little later. But what a great game today with a great crossing. As a game that was back and forth, and then the Cougars really, set the tone in the fourth quarter, outscoring them 23-12. Jax Logston was tremendous in the fourth quarter. Sam, tell us a little bit about it. The entire day up there.
It's been a long couple of days.
I love it, man.
And it is only getting longer.
I will say, too, those $15 vouchers they give you at the prices doesn't go very long up there at Rupp Arena. I can promise you that.
No. I mean, that's because, we've been trying to figure out, okay, can I do that? And okay, can I get 2 waters? And then what do I get with 2 waters? And it's no, it's 2 waters. And then maybe if you're lucky, you can get some peanut M&Ms for that or something.
Sam,
usually it's just 3 waters.
Sam, forget all that, man. You go up there and say, Mark Buckles, I need the credit card. This is a per diem. We got to make this happen. Let's go, man.
I will tell you, try the mac and Cheetos. That is, I know it's $14, but it's worth just getting the mac and Cheetos. That is tremendous.
Well, hopefully if Grayson County can beat St. X tomorrow morning, I can maybe eat that while we're watching the game to figure out who the Cougars will be playing in a state championship.
Wow. Hey, I said back in the third region tournament, Dave and I was on the broadcast in the state championship game, and I talked about how I thought this Grayson County team reminded me a lot of that Brett County team that maybe throughout the state was very underrated, and when they get to the state tournament, this is a team that can cut the nets down. And now, I know St. X is the favorite, the number one team in the state, and they're playing well. They didn't play well today. And I think Grayson, with the 5 guys that can all score,
and Bonnock off the bench,
is a team that can give this St. X team a little trouble. Talk about today, because Orem was so good for great crossing, and they played really well. What was it about that fourth quarter that just the Cougars just absolutely turned it on, Sam?
Yeah, Orem's gosh, he's a great player.
He is.
He's a great player, and he's somebody that, it's kind of one of those things that we're like, okay, you stay in the 11th region. We're good to no longer see you anymore, because he's big, he's got great footwork, and he doesn't miss on the inside. He's just really good, and I'm sure he's going to continue to improve that outside shot, which is going to make him even better. But yeah, I think the defense on him was really the difference, and really it was Chase Bonnock, off the bench, who came in and he kind of kept getting underneath of Orem, and you could tell he didn't really like it, and caused him to make some mistakes. I think had a turnover or 2, and Chase, he only got credit for 1 steal, but deflections and so on, he was probably in there for more than that. But just a great fourth quarter, and it made for a fun evening.
And Logston, I think, I think he's a very underrated superstar. We know he's going to Western. This kid's an all-state type player, but I think he's also made a name for himself. One on the rebounding end. And the fourth quarter he played today with some big-time rebounds and big-time shots that he hit. He's making a name for himself going into next year for Mr. Basketball.
Yeah, that was one of the conversations that the coaching staff had with him prior to is, I mean, he is the heavy favorite to be the third region's nominee next year, obviously barring injury or something. He's the heavy favorite to be that. So they said, you got to come out here, and if you come out and lead Grayson County to the Final Four, or heck, maybe the Cougs upset St. X tomorrow morning, and you're going to start getting some people that wouldn't usually see a Grayson County, because obviously, the Louisville and the Lexington media and so on don't make the trip down to Litchfield very often or come down to the third region. So, I mean, you get that opportunity, and, it hasn't necessarily been the prettiest thing in the world. But, like we were talking with Cameron Mills, who I think you all are on the network and stuff. So I think he was on the call for the Grayson game. And he had mentioned, Logston's didn't necessarily shoot great, but he was doing all the other things, which as Cameron made the point, it was like, that's what coaches want to see just as much.
Yeah, I mean, he had 10 rebounds in both games so far. And I'm glad you mentioned Bonnock, because he always comes across to me. Now, I don't call a ton of Grayson games, not like you do, but usually call the big ones when they're playing, a Davis County or sometimes an Ohio County. But he always comes off to me as that kid that you absolutely love to have him as your teammate. And when he's guarding you, it may be the guy you hate worst in the region. I mean, do you see that around the region as he goes and plays these other teams?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I mean, I just to steal Cameron Mills' line again, he goes, "Man, that kid's a menace." and I was like, "Yeah, that's a good way to describe it."
As we're on the Green River Area Federal Credit Union Hotline with Sam Gormley, K105, following Grayson County's big 56-48 win, 58-50 win over Great Crossing in the KHSA Sweet 16. And, we talked about Bonnock, and, that three he hit with 6:58 to go to give Grayson County a 40-39. I think what you saw with the way Grayson County closed the game out, Sam, that 13-4 run, 11 out of 13 at the free throw line. Obviously all of us around the third region, especially you broadcasting every game, but I think the third region got baptized to what Grayson County could do, with the great performance at the region tournament at the Sports Center. But now, don't you feel like it's kind of validating to some degree, Sam, that the state is finally getting to see what that special cook's been brewing there in Litchfield over the past couple of years?
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy for the kids, especially because, I even saw some region or rankings of the top 16 teams that I think I even saw one that had Grayson last. I was like,
well, the third region had been 0-10 the last 10 years. Yeah, so I mean, we kind of earned that last ranking.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm not going to deny that, but I think that the guys were like, what? Okay. We just beat Davis County not once, but twice. And I mean, heck, listen, Davis County would probably be doing the same exact thing. I mean, and I think if Davis County was at a different spot in this bracket, you could see Grayson and Davis matching up for a third time or something, just because they're that good as well. And Grayson, I think, is starting to prove it. Now, tomorrow morning, obviously, is an entirely different test. I mean, it's the best. I haven't. I'm sitting here looking at my notes to start breaking down St. X even more. I don't know that they're at the Woodward Academy level, who Grayson saw in the Marshall County Hoop Fest, but they're a step below that, and that because that Woodward team was really good. And I mean, it's a massive test, but hey, you're there. And that's never happened in the history of Grayson County High School.
Yes.
They've never made the Final Four.
And Sam,
never done it.
Exactly. And I want you to touch on that a little bit because, again, we talked about the state kind of getting the curtain peeled back, and they get to see what Grayson County and the fan base is all about and what this team is all about. And the story, I know Larry Vaught from Vaught's Views on the X Machine, he tweeted out a nice video of the Grayson County crowd, and that's been a lot of talk, at least on the Twitter machine on my feed, Sam, is that Grayson County has absolutely taken over Rupp Arena. Tell everybody about the fans from Caneyville to Litchfield, baby, packing Rupp Arena up there.
It's awesome. I mean, me being, a big UK fan, it's a little weird for me seeing Rupp Arena covered in orange. A little weird, but it's awesome. I mean, it was wild today. Because Grayson was the second session, and if you all have been up there, you know that the end zones, they clear in between the games.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And I went up to use my $15 voucher, as you mentioned, and I was walking around, and it was just like, there's so much orange. And I was like, and I came back and told Steven, my color, and I was like, I didn't see a single Great Crossing fan. they were there and they had a good contingency as well. But it was just because there was so much orange everywhere, and it's people coming out. And then, I mean, look at our viewership and everything. It's just been amazing as far as, or I guess listenership, I should say, because we're not allowed to.
Only KHSA can do that.
Yeah. But you all know not to get me started when it comes to video streaming.
Yeah, you have to talk to Brian Milam on that one. I will say, but I do think that's, talking about the support, I do think, you're going in tomorrow, as you said, but I think this is a team that has a legit puncher's chance to shock the world. The one thing you do know is it being at Rupp Arena and St. X being the big bad, like St. X and Trinity being the big bad private schools, and you're going to have this tremendous Grayson crowd. Like, I'm not so sure the Lexington crowd won't join in and Grayson be the darlings of the semifinals, where it's a true almost Grayson home game tomorrow against St. X.
That's the hope. And I mean, listen, if you're obviously you've got the 4 teams that are getting ready to play here shortly. In fact, I think one of those games.
North Oldham and Butler are 3 minutes in.
Okay. So, I mean, you're thinking of that. Since those fan bases will probably be there as well, they're probably going to be cheering for Grayson because they're the underdog. And in their eyes, it would probably be like, well, we'd rather play them than we would play St. X. And I think Grayson, they're probably saying, well, maybe St. X will go in thinking, okay, we can look ahead to us playing GRC, North Oldham, or whoever it might be, and maybe you can catch them sleeping. And then I think the early game is always a wild card as well because, I mean, listen, you were in high school. I mean, heck, it's tough for me to get out of bed now. I mean, that alarm's going to go off real early tomorrow morning.
Yeah, I mean,
and let alone a 16, 17, 18-year-old.
Yeah, and you're not used to playing at 10 o'clock in the morning, even in some, other than maybe some Christmas tournaments. But, Dave and I were talking yesterday on Live at 5 as we're talking to Sam Gormley, the voice of the Cougars here, the Green River Area Federal Credit Union guest of the game. If you get Rondo, and I'm not, but if you get North Oldham with Rondo, and you get Marshall County, who if those two teams win today,
Lange put on a
with
show.
Lange, and then you got Logston, and you got St. X, and you got it could be maybe one of the top 5 or 6 semifinals in the last 25 years as far of attendance, with some big names up there tomorrow.
Yeah, and I mean, Grayson has seen North Oldham, this year. They played him in the first game of the King of the Bluegrass, and that was Caden Gaither's second ever game as a Cougar, and Jagger Martis was hurt that day. So, and they lost that game by 10 points, I think is what it was. Didn't necessarily play great. If my memory's right, they had just a horrendous second quarter that night. And not that you're getting too far ahead of yourself looking at a championship night. But yeah, I think there's going to be a ton of Grayson County fans. I mean, there were a ton today, and there were a ton on Wednesday.
No, you can rob a bank in Grayson County tomorrow. And get away with it without a problem.
Oh yeah. Because even the police officers probably saying, "Hey, can we just go up to Rupp instead?"
Well, my question, Sam, is we know the one of the great ambassadors of what is right with high school sports is Mr. Spirit. Has he been able to make the trip?
He has. He has been there both games.
Great.
He has been there both games. He'll be turning 90 later this year.
Man.
But he has been there both games. In fact, so my parents, obviously, I'm a Northern Kentuckian. And so it's just an hour for them. They've come down for the 2 games, and my mom sent me a text message today, said, "We just got to meet Mr. Spirit."
Oh.
And as you all know, that's just great. I mean, he is a legend of legends, and if anything else, obviously getting ahead of yourself talking about a potential state championship. There's one man that would deserve to see Grayson County win a state championships. It's him.
The state needs him on the ladder, cutting the net down at Rupp Arena and giving him a piece of the net. That's what the state needs.
Because he is a legend, and his health hasn't necessarily been the greatest over the last year or so, and it would be awesome to see him there. But he's been there the last 2 games. I haven't heard officially whether he's going to be there tomorrow, but my assumption is that he'd crawl.
I was going to say he ain't
missing that.
He'd be on his. They'd have to wheel a gurney in and just hook him up to machines if it got too bad to leave him to sit there at Rupp Arena. And I know you've done a lot of research on St. X in the last couple hours, getting ready for that game tomorrow. What do you feel like Grayson? Give me a couple keys that they have to do to be able to stay in the game and make sure that Cinderella slipper fits tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll be honest. As far as my St. X notes, is I literally in the minute and a half before I walked in to hop on this call. I just printed them all off. So I am still very early on in that, but I think, it's the simplest thing for them is Grayson's going to have to make shots.
Mm-hmm.
And as you all have seen, they are a team that can come out there and hit 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 threes in a game. And, today they didn't shoot the ball well. They shot 5 of 18 from 3-point range. And I think 5 is their second lowest threes made in a game all season long. If they come out there and they hit 5 threes tomorrow, we're going to be talking about how great of a season it was. But you're probably not talking about going on to the state championship game on Saturday night. Now, if you come out there and you hit 12, 13, 14, 15 threes, you're going to give yourself a chance against a really darn good team.
I think the magic number for me is we're talking to Sam Gormley, K105 here on the Green River Area Federal Credit Union hotline. And, Vic and I were kind of discussing that today is, what's the magic number for Grayson? And I think we both kind of settled around the double digit, probably 10, at least getting close to 10. But the one thing about St. X is they looked mortal today. We saw that, I think the perception was, can anybody in the state tournament in the Sweet 16 even stay within 15 points of St. X? And I think today they were very fortunate to come away with the win. And I know, reading the X machine, seeing some of the Louisville and statewide media, the consensus was X was lackluster. Is this a team that's comfortable? Is this a team that feels like they're in cruise control and they're just going to kind of roll their way to a state title? I think that's going to be the question tomorrow going in. I'll share with the listeners, Sam. I texted you before the game to tell you good luck, and I said I predicted on record that Grayson would win today. Thank you, Cougars, for making me look smart. And then I said it sets up the showdown tomorrow, and I think Grayson County's got house money, Sam. And I want to get your thoughts on
100%.
This because the pressure's on St. X tomorrow. 100%. They're the team that's the consensus number one team. They're the team that can beat the prep schools. They're the Kentucky pedestal. Like this is what our high school can be at the highest levels. I think the pressure's on St. X tomorrow, not Grayson County. And when you got 5 guys and then Bonnock coming off the bench that can all light it up, Sam, that's dangerous for a team like St. X if they don't play well.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, Grayson County gets to play with nothing to lose tomorrow. They have already done something that no team has ever done in Grayson County basketball history. They've only ever won 1 game in the Sweet 16 prior to this year, and now you've won 2. That's amazing, and that's something that they'll be able to be excited about. Today, they set their record for the most wins in any season in the history of the program. So you're just naming off all of these things that they did, but. As I told him, I think what's the old saying goes is, they came up here to win games and chew some bubble gum, and they're all out of bubble gum.
That's right, Roddy Piper. Let's go.
Yeah, like they're gonna roll it. And listen, you roll it out there, you play that game 10 times. St. X might win 9 of them, but all that matters is tomorrow might be that one.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, the NC State beat Phi Slamma Jamma. I don't know if they can ever do it again, but the one that mattered, they did.
So you're saying there's a chance, right?
Have you let yourself, Sam? I mean, it was we saw the videos out there when Grayson County won the 3rd region tournament and the reception that was there on the square there in Las Vegas down there. Have you ever let yourself thought about what it would be like for Grayson County to come home as Kentucky State champions? Wow. Of what kind of celebration that would be down there on the square?
We talked about this. I don't know that there would be a square.
You know what? Honestly, I may have to drive.
Down.
I may have to drive down if they win.
No, I will. I'll be there. I'll be
texting
texting Sam all the way down to make sure I get there in time just to see that one because I think it would be tremendous. Sam,
there would probably be a party at the Cougar Den without question that night.
There you go. Well, Sam, you absolutely killed it on the call. Steve and I are starting this big thing that let's get some guys who call high school games all year long on the KHSAA calls because I listen to the local radios and that calls so much better usually than the KHSAA call. But I thought you actually killed the call today.
Well, thank you. We have fun and not done yet. No,
we'll
keep this thing rolling.
Sam, on a scale from 1 to 10 before we get you out of here, high hype with Steven, man. That my guy is he was turned up at the Sports Center. I was loving it.
Well, I mean, he's very well listening right now. I know he listens to you all a lot. So he might have to answer that one for himself. He was feeling it. He was feeling really good. But
for the listeners, he's a large man.
He is.
He's probably 6'5", 6'6", probably.
He's probably 6'8".
Probably 6'8". Yeah, big guy.
Yep, and he's you all know where Steven went to high school though too, right? He's in Edmonson County.
No, I didn't know.
Okay. He played at Edmonson County in the late 90s. It's kind of interesting.
Whoa, time out.
Hold on, isn't that illegal? I mean, did he get kicked out of his family or what happened here?
It's interesting that, whenever we go down there, things kind of happen, and I'm always like, is this them coming back at you? Is this coming at me? Is it Grayson? I said, I don't really know what it is. No, we love our friends down at Edmonson County. Shout out to Kyle Pierce. Kyle and I agree on a lot of things, including third region tournament stuff. But
yeah, you guys are right on a lot of things. You have to be wrong on a couple big things. That's all. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just teasing, Sam. But no, man, you guys are killing it up there. It's K105. You can find it. I think it's also you're putting the audio out on YouTube too for people that want to listen to it.
YouTube, Facebook, our app. We've got like 95 different ways for you to listen.
Just like everybody else out there. 10 o'clock tomorrow tip-off, right?
Yeah,
Central Time?
10 Central Time. So our coverage, about 9:35 or so, we'll have our locker room show and we'll get you ready. And hopefully I have to find like a Starbucks in Lexington tomorrow afternoon to figure out everything all I can figure out about whoever the heck they might play tomorrow night. It'll be a fun problem to have.
Before we get you out of here, though, Sam, I got to ask you, was there a buzz going around Rupp Arena about the Kentucky game? Like, was there any – I know everybody was locked into what was happening there, but, obviously with Owe and what he did, was people chattering? Was the chattering big up there in Lexington?
To be honest with you, I knew I was kind of following it to see what had happened, but the only way that I really knew is I looked over and Cameron Mills did like a pump fake or something on press row, and I was like, okay, that's probably a good sign if Cameron's celebrating. Well, other than that, no, I haven't. I'm hoping that. Well, I don't really know when I'm gonna have the time to go back and rewatch the game because it seems like it was probably a lot of fun, but maybe Sunday morning if I'm still standing, we'll do that.
Right. Well, hopefully you'll be, hopefully you'll be getting in late Sunday morning and bringing down a little trophy with you guys as you travel through. Good luck tomorrow, Sam. Enjoy the experience it's always a joy and a privilege to call a game at Rupp Arena. You've killed it the last two. Good luck tomorrow, and let's see if Grayson can't find a way to punch their ticket to the state finals.
Okay, I appreciate it, guys, and listen. You got a chance, and that's all that they need to ask for. And they've never been closer, and they can start to taste it. But they got a tough challenge tomorrow.
After today, there's only 4 teams that have a shot in the entire state, and that's all you need.
I'll tell you this:
I'll take 25%.
Sam, I tell you this: all the Owensboro Red Devil fans and alumni that I've talking to is absolutely 100% supporting Grayson County. So good luck, go Cougs, represent the third, man.
I think we've got 14 of the 15 schools on our side.
There you go. I think even Edmonson may be cheering for you, too.
I don't know that that's the one that we were going to leave out.
I got you. We won't call anybody else
over
out.
There.
Yeah. Well, you think about it. 1976, 2026, 50 years apart.
Yeah.
It kind of works.
Hey, it's got a decent ring to it. You're not going to hear us complain about that at all. But hey. Listen, you got a chance. That's the only thing that they can ask for. These kids really deserve it. They deserve all the recognition. It's not anything that we're doing. It's all them and the coaching staff, and they deserve all the credit.
Well, Sam, enjoy the night. We'll catch up with you tomorrow at 10:30 on K105. See if you can find a way to shock the entire state. Thanks, Sam, for joining us.
Yep. Sounds good. Go Cougs.
There you go.
Sam Gormley.
The man. The K105. They do such a great job at K105 and covering them. And a big thanks to Sam. I know, he can be busy at times and, to jump on and with us and take a little time with us. So we appreciate that.
He's living, Vic, we've lived this before. We've done state tournament runs, basketball. We've obviously done baseball, softball, and football. We've done it all. And what Sam's getting to experience, I'm so happy for a lot of different angles. For one, I'm happy first and foremost for Grayson County High School, for their administration, for their coaches. Think about Travis Johnston. Before this run now that they're on, he was a part of the only win as a player, right? So now he's getting to relive that through this current, incarnation of Grayson County basketball and the community, man. Like I've always said, as a guy here in the city and as an Owensboro Red Devil guy, Vic, we're a little spoiled. I mean, we are.
Yeah,
We've had a lot of runs and a lot of things. We're spoiled. And, with Owensboro being down the last couple of years, it's been really cool for me to sit back and watch the Butler counties and watch the Grayson counties and watch these teams get in the mix that maybe haven't been in the mix for a while. I enjoy seeing that. Look at the fan base.
There is still something very special about rural communities going to the Sweet 16 and having that chip on their shoulder that, hey, we're here to take on and show these Louisville, the people in the big cities, which, you look at it as of Louisville, Lexington, Bowling Green, Owensboro. I mean, those are the 4 biggest cities in the state by a wide margin.
Yes.
And I just think it's now, I'd say Northern Kentucky. It's all one city though. It's all
South.
different. Yeah,
Cincinnati
it's all different.
South.
But I do think your Butler counties and your Grayson counties and your Marshall counties and your Brett counties Muhlenberg when they go, some of those Eastern Line County, your Paintsvilles or when Clay County did it, there is still something very special about rural Kentucky communities that it's all, it's the whole county goes to take over Rupp, and you're seeing that with Grayson County. Tell you what, before we take a break, we'll take a real quick break here. Let's take a pause for the calls for Karen Gross, realtor with Remax Professional Realty Group. Your dream is her mission. You can get a hold of Miss Karen, 270-315-9810. When we come back, we got to talk about the shot heard around the Bluegrass and UK moving on to round 2. It's live at 5, 1027, The Game.
When lives are changed due to injuries or death resulting from personal injuries, aggressive legal representation is critical to obtain a winning result. Foreman Watson Holtry has a proven track record of winning thousands of personal injury cases throughout our region and beyond. Find out why we win our injury cases. Foreman Watson Holtry, dedicated to you, committed to justice, fwhlegal.com.
How do winners win shopping for a new vehicle?
The Red Tag event at Don Moore on 54. They'll be winning, picking, and grinning.
All in one place. New Chevy Trax, $23,495 or $299 a month.
And with non-commissioned product specialists.
There's no fiddling around. New Silverado Crew Cab, $39,990 or $499 a month. DonMooreChevy.com. Scan the code.
Types of cancer when it's caught early. Unfortunately, nearly 1 in 3 adults aged 45 and older in the United States is not up to date on colorectal cancer screening. At Owensboro Health, we're here to make screening easy and accessible. If you're due for a colorectal cancer screening, talk with your primary care provider.
Learn more at owensborohealth.org/colon cancer.
Ready to transform your home without overspending? Stop by Fisher's Furniture at 910 Main Street in Tell City. Discover trusted brands like Flex Steel, Homestretch, Liberty, American Wholesale, and more. All with our price match guarantee. That's right. If you find a better deal, we'll match it. Why drive out of town when the best furniture, value, and expert service are waiting right here at home? Plus, enjoy free local delivery to make shopping even easier. Visit Fisher's Furniture on Main Street in Tell City, where your dream home is just around the corner.
That's the sound of happy at DQ. Get white meat seasoned chicken strips with fried Texas toast and DQ's signature country gravy for just $7.49. For crunch time, it can only be the DQ chicken strip basket.
Canty Dairy Queen, with locations on Highway 231 in Owensboro and in Beaver Dam beside Ohio County High School. Canty Dairy Queen supports local high school sports broadcasts on ESPN Owensboro. Bring the whole team or the whole family to Canty Dairy Queen for your favorite treats and eats.
Looking for a financial partner you can trust? Look no further than Green River Area Federal Credit Union. Whether you're saving for the future, buying a new home, or need a loan, we've got you covered with competitive rates and personalized service. Join the community that cares about your financial well-being. Visit Green River Area Federal Credit Union at one of our 3 locations in Henderson, Greenville, or Owensboro and experience the difference today. Your money, your future, your credit union. Member NCUA, Equal Housing Lender.
You know that weird squeaky sound your floor makes? Yeah, it's begging for a makeover. At Floor Concepts in Owensboro, they've got you covered, literally. Hardwood, carpet, vinyl, tile. If it goes on the floor, they've got it. Locally owned, super friendly, and pros at what they do. Floor Concepts makes upgrading your home easy and actually kind of fun. Swing by their location on 231 or check them out online at floorconceptinc.com. Floor Concepts, your feet will thank you.
Diamond Lane South on Carlton Drive in Owensboro, your hometown bowling hotspot since 1984, is ready to turn up the fun. Grab your crew for open bowling, join a competitive league, or just come show off those strike skills. We've got something for every age and every level. Quartermania takes over Wednesdays and Sundays. Moonlight Bowling lights up the weekends. And with arcade games, plus a full kitchen and bar, the party never slows down. Diamond Lane South on Carlton Drive, where the pins strike, the lights glow, and the good times roll.
Looking for fun that's cool, active, and perfect for the whole family? Head to Edge Ice Center in Owensboro. Open skate, hockey leagues, figure skating lessons, birthday parties, and private events. All on real ice, right here at home. Whether you're lacing up for the first time or you're a seasoned skater, Edge Ice Center has something for everyone. Stay cool, stay active, and make some memories on ice. Edge Ice Center, where Owensboro comes to skate.
Let's get back to Live at 5 with Steve and Coach on 1027 The Game.
It's Live at 5, brought to you by Foreman, Watson, Holtree. Live stream out there brought to you by More and More Browns Valley Truck Equipment. Vic Evans, David Clark in the Floor Concept Studios. Segment 2. We're going to combine these two segments. Van, it's going to be a UK. I had a lot of UK and NCAA stuff in my Van Atten's LA 5.
Yes.
So we're going to combine these two segments. Don't forget Van Atten's Pitmaster barbecue sauce. You can find their great sauces, Reed Orchard, Hillsview Farm, up in Hallsville at Hancock County Farm Supply, Hallsville Truck Shop. You can follow them on Facebook and see where you can get your sauces throughout the 3rd region in Western Kentucky, including like Doolin's Grocery down there in Ohio County. They have one down there in Tompkinsville. And if you're down there, pick up
Monroe County?
Pick up some Van Atten's Pitmaster barbecue sauce and get you a Dovey burger, the greatest burger in the world.
Listen, man, we shout out to Van Atten's for the media room at the 3rd region tournament. I was baptized with some Van Atten's sauce.
That was good stuff.
Boy,
it was good stuff.
Hey,
as always, we got to talk UK.
Sweet Heat.
Sweet Heat's good.
Sweet Heat.
They moved to the UK, moves to the 2nd round, when all of a sudden they snatch loss, a loss and get into victory against Santa Clara as Otega Irway hits the shot heard round the bluegrass.
Yeah, man.
The 40-footer at the buzzer to send it though. I got to ask you, when Santa Clara hit the 3,
yeah,
I mean, did you just think?
I didn't. So I was at my mom's house watching it on the recliner. I started off watching it at Heather's house, and she's got a puppy dog, and it was freaking out and trying just being a puppy, right? And I was like, I gotta concentrate, man. So I got up and I went to my mom's house, and so I had kind of resigned myself to. We're watching the beginning of the end of the Pope era, right? That's kind of what it was in my head. And when the guy hit the shot for Santa Clara, I didn't even react. I was just like,
numb. Yeah, it was kind of numb.
I said, well, there it is.
When the shot went in, I was listening to Leach and Goose. And when the shot went in, that was my first thought is this is the beginning of the end of Pope. This is going to be a terrible offseason. It's going to be terrible for the Big Blue Nation. He's, no matter what happens, like who they sign, no matter what, it would almost reminded me to the point of what Mark Stoops was last season and what he would have been going into next year.
Yeah.
And then, but that's the great thing about the NCAA tournament. It can change your perception of a program on a dime.
Just like that, man.
And now you got, if you can find a way to beat Iowa State on Sunday, that completely changes the perception of Pope in UK because it would be back-to-back Sweet 16s. And, it would give him at least some momentum going into the offseason and keeping people, hey, we'll trust Pope. He's rebuilt teams, and now we've been to the Sweet 16 twice.
So I texted the group chat when UK finally pulled it off in overtime, and it went final. They won the game, and I said, I got mixed feelings right now because I saw really poor basketball. I saw a team that really hasn't gotten any better with their basketball IQ. And Vic, I believe when a team plays with poor IQ during the game, it's a reflection of coaching. They haven't done the right things in practice. They haven't done the right kind of drills, or the implementation of what they want to get done hasn't been correct. We said I believe we said on the show yesterday, or maybe it was off the air, that the best teams, you've implemented everything the way it needs to be implemented, and the best teams, they coach themselves on the floor. They talk to each other. The communication's there. And UK does things at times on the basketball floor, Vic, where I go, is this team ever, like, have you ever played basketball before, right? Like, do you understand situational basketball? Like, for example, Kentucky could have went to the basket or posted up and gotten any shot they wanted the entire game. So Santa Clara, and shout out to Herb Sindick for this, he goes, you know what? We can't guard them going to the basket. We're just going to lay off and leave dudes wide open and pray they're going to shoot these threes.
We're going to try to have them shoot as many threes and long twos in the first half. We did.
And Sindick threw his little fishing line out there, put it in the water, and what do we do, Vic?
Shot a lot of long twos and threes. Yeah.
We bit the bait, and we missed everything. Chandler was 1 of 8.
I know, but I also think he got some really good looks, too. And if he hits a couple, it completely changes what you think of that first half.
They win the game going away in regulations. What happens?
I mean, and then the one thing that the people talk about, they weren't sure if Kentucky has a star. They do. They've had one that's been tremendous since the SEC started in OA. And all he did today was go 35 points, 8 rebounds, 7 assists. And that's the first player since Larry Bird in 1979 to put those numbers up in an NCAA tournament game, and only the 4th all time. And I think the other ones were Oscar Robinson, Jerry Lucas, Larry Bird, and Otega Owe.
So, yes, shout out to Owe. I mean, probably one of the more quiet, great performances in tournament history that you're ever going to see.
That would have gotten lost if he doesn't hit the shot.
If he didn't hit the shot, but... Man, I was texting the group chat too, man. I'm so disappointed with Jelovic, man. Like, his defense, it's like he's such a liability out there that if Jelovic's not scoring, he's a skilled offensive player. But if he's not on, and he was not on today, I don't even know if he scored. No, he went 0 of 1 from the field, Vic. He couldn't guard a middle school player. Like, the guy was completely lost. So my thing is, moving forward, when you play Iowa State, if Jelovic can't play defense, he cannot play against Iowa State. You're going to have to look for Cam Williams to maybe, I know he's hurt a little bit, but you had
hit a big three.
Hit a huge three. You may be looking at Garrison and Diabate more, getting Jasper Johnson a few more minutes. But there cannot be, my thing is, win or lose come Sunday for the Kentucky Wildcats, Vic, make Iowa State earn baskets. That's all I ask.
I'll say this. The one thing he did do is he played his stars a bunch of minutes today, and I've been waiting for that all year long because I get so tired about how these guys get so tired. That'll get to our first question of our Van Atten's LA Pitmaster LA 5. Does Otega Owe's shot go to the top of the UK greatest shot list right off the top?
Greatest shot list. It depends. If you go out and lose by 20,
well, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what you would put as when I ask you about the best shots in UK history. What comes? I mean, you got Aaron Harrison's.
Well, you got Harrison. I think
they didn't win it that year.
You
either.
look at Cameron Mills, Scott Paget,
Cameron Mills
in the '98 run.
Dirk Minifield's dunk.
Tayshawn's 3-pointers. Of course, that was a kind of a accumulation of things. Sparks' 3 against Michigan State. Unfortunately, the Cats still lost.
Yeah, I still think Owe's is right up there in the top 5.
Yeah, it's definitely there. I think, didn't Owe hit like a half-court or three-quarter court shot earlier this year as well?
I don't think it was him. I know they hit one against St. John, it was Providence.
Yeah.
But I think that was last year. It may have been last year he hit it. I don't think it was earlier this year. But
yeah.
There you go. Hey, this is a Van Atten's, kind of a different Van Atten's LA 5. Question number 2. Do you think it's time for me to give a heartfelt apology to Brandon Garrison because I said earlier this year that I wouldn't trade 4 deflated basketballs for? I'd trade him for 4 deflated basketballs.
Oh, my gosh. BG.
How about 10 points, 8 rebounds, 6 blocks?
Oh, my gosh. Vic, Brandon Garrison,
the most frustrating player ever to play at UK.
He's got the skills. Like, he's got the size, the athleticism. He can score. He can play defense. The 2 block 3-pointers, I mean, that just speaks for itself. I mean, I'm not sure, Vic, Kentucky wins that game if it's not for Garrison's defense down the stretch.
Oh, there's no doubt.
don't think Kentucky wins. But then he just does things. It's like, have you played basketball before?
Yeah, like foul the guy
with 2 seconds to go. It's such a Garrison thing to do.
I mean, the game's
man.
over, but you foul the guy that hit 2 free throws. You get a steal and a 3-pointer. It's a tie ball game. But hey, BG, I'm sorry. I mean, I still think. I mean, I've never seen a player at UK that if you look at what his ceiling in his games and what his floor is, I've never seen a player reach a ceiling and then reach not just the floor, like dig a whole new basement and get to it, like in back-to-back games so many times.
Probably have to go back to maybe like Jules Kamara, Saul Smith would drive you crazy at times.
That's about right.
Trying to think of a guy. I'd have to really rack my brain on that one. But as far as Garrison, though, Vic, 25 minutes, 10 points, 5 of 6 from the field, and the defense.
7 boards, 6 blocks.
I know he fouled out. If he can bring that level of physicality and defense and just get the junk baskets.
Well, let's be honest. Moreno was lost today. He was in way. He could not guard them. He was in way over his head with them.
He was. He
looked like a freshman. Yeah, playing the NCAA tournament. Let's get to question number 3. This should take a little bit off heat off Pope winning this game, and if they can find a way to beat Iowa State, it will take all heat off. True,
true, 100% true. If they beat Iowa State, I think Pope can breathe a little bit for the first time in quite some time, and I hope that. Man, I'm not rooting against Pope, Vic. To be clear, like he's one of us. He's one of the unforgettables. Like when they announced Mark Pope as the head basketball coach, I was like, you got to be kidding me. Like he's not ready for this job. Then I got, the whole 96 and the nostalgia. And then Patino kind of came in and did the parade. And they it felt like our family got reunited because, let's be clear, like we lost that under Calipari, especially the last 7 years of Calipari. We lost that family. It felt like it was a bad business deal gone wrong. That's what it felt like the last 7 years of Calipari. It's like, oh, we got our family back now. And now, Vic, it's like, you've reconciled a little bit, and things are not going quite as good as we thought. But I want Pope to succeed. But I will say this, Vic: Sunday against Iowa State is going to be a big test. I mean, if Kentucky goes out and gets ran off the floor, okay, I think the heat's still on.
Well, I'll say this: they've got Iowa State's very good,
but they lost their best player today.
He was in a boot after the game
on crutches.
I don't think he plays. I don't know. Listen, it ought to be pretty good. Give you an update at the half. North Odom leads Butler 30-21 at the half down there. Rondo, just a normal 11 points, 4 or 5 from the field, 3 assists, 2 rebounds.
13-year-old eighth
You better
grader.
get used to seeing him because he's going to be at like some prep school or at Overtime Elite or somewhere playing there in the next year or two.
Well, I heard Rajon Rondo has applied to be head basketball coach at Owensboro High School.
There you go. Bring him down. There you go.
I'm just kidding. everybody. I wish.
Let me get to my next. Van Atten's LA 5. I mean, how would you love to be in St. Louis if how would you like to be in St. Louis this weekend?
Oh, man.
If the teams are Purdue, Missouri, Iowa State, and Kentucky, St. Louis is going to be rocking this weekend. I saw where after Iowa State win, like those tickets are already going for like $300-$400 just to get in.
Oh, yeah. The get-in price is through the roof, and Big Blue Nation's represented well. Santa Clara brought a nice allotment of fans today, which was kind of surprising.
Listen, it may be Iowa State. I cannot remember the last time you went to an NCAA first or second round where the team that Kentucky was playing had more fans, but Iowa State's going to have more fans. Unless the Big Blue Nation really, because if you look at it, Iowa State had more fans today than Big Blue Nation. Now, some may have been waiting to come on Saturday or Sunday.
Yeah.
But I don't know if they get to Iowa State level.
They don't. Vic, because this this has been a tumultuous season for Kentucky, and I don't think people are sold enough on this Kentucky basketball team to shell out $400, $500 for a ticket to get in, plus gas, plus hotel. That's a vacation for a lot of people, Vic. And I think with the 2 games in Nashville and you've won a game, I think Big Blue Nation. Now, have you said that? If Kentucky wins Sunday, I think they pack Chicago. I think Kentucky brings a massive crowd to Chicago.
Well,
if they
Michigan
win.
will too.
Sure, 100%.
And then I will say this. I thought if you look at it now, Missouri's not in. They got to play Miami tonight. It's one of the night's games. But if Missouri does win that, then that ticket becomes one of the hardest Sweet 16 tickets, or around the second round tickets to get there in St. Louis. Looking at it, anything kind of surprise you today? I mean, it's really been kind of. I mean, I know you had VCU beat North Carolina, so anytime North Carolina loses, it's always a good thing.
Great thing.
Of course, you had the upset early where you had Wisconsin going down. Once again, a good thing. But overall, it's been pretty chalky. I mean, not a lot of upsets, not a lot of lower seeds winning. I mean, I think about you had VCU, I think St. Louis.
Dude, how about St. Louis? The Billikens. I call them Indiana State University West. Because
it's great
they should have got in the tournament 2 years ago, and now everybody's seeing why.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who's tremendous. But I didn't see that. I mean, I had them winning, but I didn't see it coming down to absolute blowout. But are you surprised that in a year where there wasn't? I mean, I know you had the top few teams, but it seemed like maybe 8 through 40 were pretty close.
Right.
That you haven't seen a lot of upsets.
No, not a lot of upsets, and I think it's going to be harder for upsets to happen, Vic, because the Power 4 schools are poaching the best mid-major players every
100%.
single year. They're going to, I'm honestly a little surprised Avila's still at St. Louis. I don't know if he's a junior.
Nah, he's got to be a senior because he's got like almost 2,000 points in his career.
Yeah, he's been playing a while.
Not anymore. I don't know how many years anybody has left.
I'll tell you, here's a good example of that is Conwell for the University of Louisville. He was Avila's teammate at Indiana State a couple years ago. Got the bag, went to Xavier, got a bigger bag, came to Louisville, and that's the problem the mid majors are going to face. How do we pull that Cinderella upset run when the guys keep taking our best players? I don't have an answer for that.
Yeah, I think you're going to see that. I mean, I think I think as the tournament goes on, just like you saying, as people are taking players and poaching the best players at mid-majors and paying them a lot of money, that it will get tougher and tougher to upsets.
How about the SEC, though, Vic?
I mean, Georgia's the only loss, isn't it?
4-1 yesterday, 3-0 so far today, and still have Florida. So Florida's going to win, right? I mean, they're going to be 4-0, and then that leaves Missouri versus Miami, which is objectively a toss-up. But there's a world, Vic, where the SEC is 9-1 after.
Well, I said all along,
first round.
Most people said the Big 12 was number one. I thought the SEC was probably the second best basketball conference this year, and a close second to the Big 12. I think a lot of people think the Big 10. I always think Big 10's overrated. And I think the SEC's showing it that these teams can win when they don't go out there and play SEC people. Van Atten's next question for you, the Van Atten's LA 5. Just got two more. We got to go quick. Then we'll talk a little baseball, softball at the close of the show in the third segment. How right is our boy Dan Dockich that said that Kentucky is just like Alabama football. When everybody else started paying players, Kentucky stopped winning.
No, it just makes me sad for Dan Dockich. He's a guy that's trying to he is like the Dollar Tree version of Skip Bayless. He's Skip Bayless and all those guys without the influence. I think Dan Dockich,
I think he's more right than you know.
No, he's not right at all.
Are you telling me Kentucky wasn't paying players all these years?
Well, yeah, but I mean, of course they were, but so was Duke, so was North Carolina. So was Indiana. Dan Dockich.
No. Not when Knight was there. You weren't.
Yeah, they were.
No, they were not.
No,
well, I refuse to believe it.
I can't. I mean, I know for a fact that he was, and I can't say the story.
Well, I mean, if I'm going to believe Alabama and the SEC never wins anymore because they're now the other conference are paying players, I'll say.
Here's the thing, man. A lot of we can get into that. That's a summer topic because I got some more thoughts on that one. But I think a lot of times, man, the paying the players thing back in the day, I think there was some sliminess to it, maybe the Eddie Sutton years at Kentucky. But a lot of times, like with Joe B and stuff, it's just, and what Bobby Knight did, it was just about taking care of guys, giving them some money if they had a family to feed their kid, right? Or
hold on, Kentucky had a bunch of non-show work jobs at horse farms and banks that they were paid awful well for a long time.
Yes, but what I'm saying is there was some of that, and obviously what Duke and the jeweler that they never, I mean, how does Duke get away with that, right? Like they popped the jeweler for giving, was it Elton Brand and all those guys like $30,000, and the NCAA knew about it.
Well, I mean, hold on now. We had UNLV in a hot tub before the Final Four with bookies, and they let it go.
But here's my point: it's Kentucky's not winning or not where they want to be because everybody the paying level, the field is level. It's that Pope hasn't done the job that he needs to do, and Kentucky's had a little bit of bad luck with injuries. I think It all comes back down to getting the right coach. Look at Dusty May. Michigan ain't breaking the bank right now, but they're probably the best team in the country. It's about having the right coach, getting the right guys, and finding the right personalities to come into the program, and you can win that way. Dan Dockich is just, he's kind of a sad, it's sad, man. I think that's all I got.
I've always loved Dockich.
I did until recently. I tell you where Dan Dockich lost me about 5 or 6 years ago when he tried to speak on the Jaquan Lyles situation at Evansville Bosse. And I'm like, dude, I'm going to tell you right now, I'd look in the camera, Dan Dockich, you couldn't coach at Evansville Bosse for 1 year. They would spit you up and chew your butt out and send your ass back to Northern Indiana because you're soft. You couldn't do for them kids what Shane Burkhart did. So take that to the bank, Dan Dockich.
I'll tell you what, we'll leave it right there. It's been the Van Attens LA 5. Make sure you check them out. We'll be right back. We'll talk a little softball, baseball when we come back. Live at 5, 1027, The Game.
Make the most of every lawn with Kubota commercial landscaping equipment. From the productivity-boosting Z700 series mower to the reliable SVL track loader. It's a lineup built to get the job done right. Because when your reputation is on the line, you need equipment that will never let you down. Visit your local Kubota dealer today. Check us out today at Hagen's Outdoor Equipment with 3 locations to serve you. Highway 54 in Philpott, Salem Drive in Owensboro, and Power Machinery on Highway 41 in Hanson. We appreciate your business.
Looking to sell a firearm? Before you deal with meeting up with strangers, bring it to 270 Tactical. Not only do they sell quality firearms and accessories, they buy them too, and they pay top dollar. Whether you're downsizing your collection, upgrading, or just ready to sell, 270 Tactical makes it simple, safe, and professional. No hassle, no sketchy meetups, just top dollar offers. Stop by 270 Tactical today and turn your firearms into cash. 270 Tactical, located at 1737 Sherm Road.
You know, roofing ain't no hobby. He's a pro, and his name is Robbie. So don't fool around with amateurs, doggone it. And don't worry about the roof. Robbie's on it. Roof trouble? Call Robbie Lee, 270-929-2786. Don't worry about the roof. Robbie's on it.
If hunger's calling you, go to Moonlight Barbecue. Stop in today, eat their buffet. You'll be satisfied and on your way. It's down on Parrish Avenue. That's Moonlight Barbecue.
Make your dream home a reality for only $29 a month with Farmers Home Furniture. Imagine this brand new Davy Queen bedroom set, or a fun, safe JoJo bunk bed for the kids, a chic new Mia White dinette for morning coffee, and the comfy Braves olive sofa for movie night. Each for just $29 monthly. Upgrade your home with affordable, easy ways to pay and better terms than most credit cards. Farmers Home Furniture, your hometown store.
Buying or selling a home doesn't have to be stressful. When you work with me, Shane Cavan, Realtor with Century 21 Prestige, you get a partner who listens, communicates, and guides you every step of the way. Dream big and move fast with a Realtor who puts your goals first. Whether you're buying, selling, or investing, contact me, Shane Cavan, at 270-485-2348, and let's get you moving today.
When something goes wrong with your plumbing, it never happens at a good time. It happens fast, and it needs fixed fast. Call RFI Plumbing. We're local, licensed, fully insured, and ready to handle everything from emergency leaks to everyday repairs and full plumbing projects. No guesswork, no runaround. Just clear communication, quality work, and a good job done right. When it matters most, trust the local pros at RFI Plumbing.
From backyard grills to big events, there's one sauce that delivers every single time. Van Atten's award-winning Pitmaster barbecue sauce brings bold flavor, rich smoke, and pit-perfect taste to whatever's on your grill. Pick your favorite, original, sweet heat, or hot and spicy, and bring the winning flavor to every bite. Shop the sauce now at VanAttensBarbecue.com and follow Van Atten's Pitmaster barbecue sauce on Facebook. Van Atten's, where flavor wins.
Local sports at its finest, live at 5 with Stephen H. Turner and Vic Evans on 102.7 The Game.
It's Live at 5, brought to you by Foreman Watson Poultry, FWHlegal.com. The live stream out there, big thanks to more and more Browns Valley trucking equipment who come on to be the live stream. We'll be live streaming the show. X, Facebook, YouTube, you can always find it out there. Listen, there's a great basketball today with Grayson County in Kentucky. There were some great softball and baseball games last night. We're running short on time.
Yes.
Sam was such a good interview, and then the Van Atten's LA5. But I want to start. How about the game of Apollo Henderson last night in softball? It goes 9 innings last night. Molly Julian was tremendous. 8 2/3, only gave up 3 hits, struck out 12. But the problem was Cameron Timmons was a little bit better. She threw a 9-inning no-no last night, struck out 18, and drove in the walk-off RBI to win the game 1-0. How about going 9? Think about this. She has thrown, for the year, she has now thrown 13 innings. All right? If you do the math, that's 39 outs.
With that addition alone, Henderson County has won the transfer portal prize.
Right. So out of those 13 innings, 39 outs, 3 outs an inning.
Yes.
So far this year, she struck out 29.
It's unreal, man. It's unreal.
Out of the 39 outs.
And I know that kills Davis County fans because, they had the perfect combination of just brute force with Timmons, and then kind of so Kane could come in and throw the off-speed stuff, and you could give 2 different looks, right? And you lose that a little bit. But Henderson County, man, just what an unbelievable job is it? Coach Troutman, right?
Troutman, yeah.
What an unbelievable, just a standard of consistency right now.
I'm going to pencil them in. They're going to 4 straight state finals.
Vic, I'm not fighting you on that one at all.
Some of it will depend on the draw.
Sure.
Maybe if you draw South Warren first, and that.
Are you scared if you're Henderson?
No,
not one bit.
Not at all.
I don't care if the South Warren has 4 girls that are playing for Team USA or not. Henderson County has been there, done it 3 times, maybe 4 this year, Vic. These Lady Colonels, man, that program over there is the standard for local athletics in our area. The Henderson County girls softball
Ohio
team.
County gets a big win against Catholic 2-1. Trinity beats McLean 21-0. How about this? 7th grader Avery Emmett goes 3 for 4 with 3 RBIs, a double and a homer. Ella Morris goes 4 innings, strikes out 9. Freshman Emerson Bikey goes 3 for 4 with 3 runs scored. And 8th grader Aubrey McKinney scores 5 runs. So there's a 7th grader, an 8th grader, and a freshman all doing damage there at Trinity. Hancock takes down Owensboro 8-0. Davis County, they take down Greenwood 9-0.
Yeah, good win.
Another good win there. On the baseball side, how about Catholic going down to South Warren and getting an 11-2 victory? It was Mason Russellberg with 3 hits, 3 RBIs, had a big double off the wall in that one. Barrett Evans didn't play. The scored 11 runs. Henderson moves to 2-0. They take down Hancock 11-6. Meade bounces back with a 17-2 win over John Hardin. And McLean County takes down Ty County Central 6-0. Corbin Martin and Brooks Lynham lead the way with 2 hits. Jalen Groves gets the win, going 5 innings, striking out 9. Didn't give up any hits in his 5 innings.
Yeah, big.
But also Muhlenberg got an opening day win. And then congratulations, Coach Ted Hill, coming back to coach baseball. He gets an extra inning win, 5-4 over Grayson.
Yeah, Grayson's a little, they're a little focused on basketball right now, so we'll get to
They'll be fine.
They'll get to baseball mode here soon.
Yeah, Keaton Daugherty with a couple hits for them. It was Eli Hatfield had a triple and 2 RBIs. Jacoby White got the win in relief, throwing 1 inning, striking out 3. Butler County opens their season with a 6-3 victory over OHS. And I think it's what you're going to see from OHS. You're going to have some wins. You're like, whoa. I mean, they're playing, when you're playing with a team that is doesn't have a lot of experience in varsity baseball, I think there's going to be some big swings and ebbs and flows.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to watch. But, going back to Catholic, I think, on paper, I think Owensboro Catholic baseball team is kind of the front runner, I would say, in the 3rd region. Now, Meade, obviously, the defending 3rd region champs. Breck's going to, if you're counting off Breck, you're crazy. They're going to be just fine as well. But, man, Catholic, just from top to bottom, and then you look at the bullpen, on paper, Vic, I mean, we're going to be holding them to a high standard this year, man.
Oh, without a doubt. And I don't know who pitched, because I know in game 1 they threw like Evans and White and Hundley a couple innings, and then Atwell finished the game. So I don't know if they threw all different guys today, but let's just say they did. and they threw different players yesterday than they did in game one, and you're holding South Warren to 2 runs. That means you're like going into number 5, 6, and 7 in your rotation,
Unreal.
or 4, 5, 6, and 7, and you've given up 3 runs so far this year. I mean, that's a loaded staff.
Think about the luxury of having like Gentry Atwell. Was he 6'7" now? I mean,
6'7", 6'8", 245.
Towers over quote unquote big brother Brady Atwell, right? But you got
Brady's small brother.
Brady's little brother now. But you think about Gentry, man. What a luxury it is to have a guy like that come out of the bullpen, Vic. And then was he hitting 90?
Yeah, he's right up there in the upper 80s.
He comes in, you get an inning, 2 innings out and relief out of him, and he's blowing gas right by guys. I mean, that's a luxury, man.
Hey, Hancock County softball, they're over on WBIO thanks to Commonwealth Road Products. They fouled off at 5:30, so you can go pick up Joe Creisey there. Right here on 102.7 The Game, we switch back over to Westwood 1 and college basketball the rest of the night.
Do the Cats win Sunday?
No,
they don't. I know.
I don't think so.
Win.
Hey, have a great weekend. It's been Live at 5.